we are in the business of immigration for almost 20 years now, and we have deep expertise across various countries जो um, uh, countries of choice होती हैं like UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. And how what is the kind of work we do is हम ना बड़े ही selected लोगों के साथ काम करते हैं where we don't believe कि भी अगर हम justify ही नहीं कर सकते of handling your application, then it is somehow doing injustice to somebody's application. किसी का travel है, किसी का student visa है, and we give a very very personalized kind of an attention. We believe more in providing quality service. And there are some things that we purely believe in, that immigration ना कोई paper work नहीं होता, and it's a lifetime decision. In fact, we how we work as a team, we stay updated with evolving immigration policies and interpret them accurately for your benefit. कि भी आपको सही एडवाइस मिलनी चाहिए, सही टाइम पे मिलनी चाहिए, is what we completely follow. This is a very small, brief understanding about us, and now I can see better. And so I would recommend and request that if some of you can write some questions, we'll have Mr. Victor joining in maybe in some time. Maybe he's already joined. Yeah, he's there. So we have Mr. Victor here. He is based in New Zealand with his wife and two children, and is a citizen there. He has been working in this industry, helping others achieve their immigration goals for almost 20 years now, and believes in the fact that every time, what I have seen, I can tell about him is every time he works on a for an application, he believes it is his own application. He is so empathetic about the application. So today, I request Mr. Victor to share his knowledge, and I'll recommend all of you to at least ask one question each. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Sharad. And first of all, welcome everyone. Thanks for taking our time for this particular session. And thank you, our team, Sharadji and Shrutiji and everyone else for organizing and conducting this. So, guys, there's definitely, I'm here to share my knowledge, whatever knowledge I can share with you. And if that can make a positive impact on your life and can give a direction to your future career, then definitely I'll be very glad and very happy. So, Sharad sir, tell me how to start and how to
So
get the ball rolling.
basically, let me tell you about the audience first. All of them are respected teachers, teaching various subjects like economics, English, Hindi, and various subjects. And they are here to understand what is the scope of teaching, or probably learning as a teacher internationally, and how it can open their doors uh, towards a brighter side of life. Uh,
Definitely,
yeah.
sir. So, first of all, I'll give you a bit of basically introduction about the career in New Zealand and how this career works and what are the visa options. And after that, we can take the questions from audience, and then we'll go from there, and that will enhance the knowledge overall.
Gotcha.
So basically, to work as a teacher in New Zealand, why it's a very lucrative profession. The first and the foremost thing, the same reason why a lot of female they join India in India, why they join the teaching industry or teaching as a profession. So basically, teaching offers a work-life balance. The same thing is the same advantage in New Zealand as well. You get time to manage your family as well as you get time to have a professional career, start early and finish early. And a lot of mothers, they can take their kids along with them in the school and they can have that eye on the children and give them the care as well as pursuing their career. So that's first and the foremost thing. It gives a really good work-life balance. And the other thing is a rewarding career. It's a really rewarding career in New Zealand, and New Zealand government has already declared that the teaching professionals or teachers are in skill shortage at the moment, that we need more and more teachers. We do not have enough staff to run our schools and our ECE centers, early childhood centers, effectively, because New Zealand loses a lot of teachers to Australia. because of the visa policies and the treaty between New Zealand and Australia. How does it work if someone comes to New Zealand as a work visa holder and then gain the permanent residency and then the citizenship? Then Australia also opens up their doors for them without any visa, without any formality, without any job. They can straight away go to Australia and work there. So a lot of people, those who have their established lives here in New Zealand, they do go to Australia to explore career opportunities and high pay rate. In Australia also, teaching profession is in very high demand. And even if you go to early childhood centers and if you ask for admission, they will give you a wait list of maybe 6 to 8 months or sometimes a year. So it means parents, they plan to choose an early childhood center before they plan a pregnancy. This is the situation in Australia. And if we talk about New Zealand, as I said, it's a rewarding career. So when I say rewarding career, what it means is if a minimum wage rate in this country is approximately $23.50 for a normal person to just go and work in any organization at a minimum wage rate. But if we talk about the wage rate for teachers, that is anywhere around $34 to $38 per hour. So which is a very lucrative because of the licensing requirement, because it is a license oriented or license restricted profession. So you need to have a teacher council's approval, the certificate of practicing. Then only you can practice as a teacher in New Zealand. And we have different levels of teaching in New Zealand. So starting with ECE, which is early childhood education. It starts with the 6 months of age to around 5 years of age. So this bracket is called ECE. And after that, it progresses towards the primary education and then the secondary, and after that, tertiary education. So these are the different levels of education or teacher professions in New Zealand. For registration, if we talk about, so ECE, primary and secondary, they are all regulated. It means if you want to practice in any of these professions, you need to get the Teacher Council of New Zealand's approval and license, basically a registration. So once you get the registration, you have a trump card in your hand, and your demand is there, your high pay rate is there, and the job stability is there. Basically, employers will look for you, and there is a big reason for that. If you talk about ECE, because government promotes couples, basically parents, to join the workforce and work effectively full time. That's why New Zealand government funds 20 hours every week free education for the children. So if they want to go to ECE center, early childhood center, so 20 hours the kid can go to the early childhood center and the fees will be paid by the government. So basically it is a subsidized way of doing the things. And even after finishing the ECE education, if you talk about primary and secondary education, that is also the major sector in New Zealand is free. So basically, government funded education is there. So that's why jobs are in, like plenty of jobs are available because government encourage. And even the teacher council, if you manage to get a job opportunity in New Zealand, teacher council prioritize your application because you already have a job offer, and then they just quickly give you the registration if you made the requirement. So now I'll come back to the requirement stage while sitting in offshore in any other country. And if you're planning to come to New Zealand, how the journey starts or where does it start? So the first thing is you need to appear for an English exam, and it could be a Pearson test of English, which is called PTE, or you need to appear for IELTS. So if you talk about PTE, it is 90-point system. So in out of 90, you need to score 65 each to be able to apply for the teacher's registration. So it is four components are there: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And similarly, if we talk about IELTS, the same thing happens. Out of nine, you have to score six. You have to score seven each, basically, out of nine to be able to apply for the teacher registration. And other thing which is required is the qualification assessment of your teaching qualification. So if you have a basically Bachelor of Education from India, or if you have done any other Masters in Teaching program, then you need to apply for a NZQA IQA, which is International Qualification Assessment. So you can apply for that assessment and get your offshore qualification assessed. And that assessment tells us about the framework, basically, that overseas qualification, where does it fall or where does it fit into the New Zealand qualification framework? We have levels here of the education. So basically, a bachelor's degree comes at level 7, and then PG diploma comes at level 8, and master's comes at level 9. So that NZQ assessment tells that your qualification, if it is at level 7, which is a bachelor's degree level, that allows you and enables you to apply for the teacher's registration, as well as you need to provide police clearance and you need to provide references. So those sort of and the detailed CV showing your or showcasing your education and experience and suitability for the teacher registration. So basically, this is how you can apply for teacher registration while even if you are sitting offshore. Now I will cover the future pathways, like how to go about it. Once you have already checked that, okay, I'm sitting in India and I've checked the registration requirements, what next? So the first or the easiest way to come here, if you already have a job offer, it means there are websites and there are employers, because as I said, this occupation is in high demand and skill shortage. So you can apply from your home country and try to get a job offer, appear for the interviews and crack that interview. If an employer offers you a job, you can come here on a policy called accredited employer work visa. And that gives you a stay up to 5 years. So you can come here and you can work in the country. Second option, if you are not able to crack the this job offer thing and you can't get the employment offer, then the second option which you can look at is coming here on maybe visitor visa and trying your luck, applying for jobs onshore, going and meeting early childhood centers, going and meeting schools. Private schools are also here, so you can even try to target private schools if they are happy to hire you. Our third option, which is if you are looking for something which is sure shot, then what you can do is you can come here and do an education program. So in New Zealand, we have graduate diploma in teaching program that leads to teacher registration. And that program is designed for people, those who don't even have a teaching qualification from any other country like offshore or India. So what you can do is, even if you have a BCom or a BA or BSc, any of those qualifications, then graduate diploma in teaching offers as a bridging program. So you can come here, do that bridging course, and that bridging course leads to the teacher registration. And once you get the teacher registration, you can, like after the qualification, you can get the work visas and you can apply for permanent residency as well if you wish to do so. So, and if you are in the country, if you already have a job offer, there are various pathways towards a residency. Just to name a few, this qualification, like teachers, fall into tier 1 and tier 2 roles in New Zealand, which is straight to residence and work to residence categories. So it just depends what sort of teacher you are. So if you are an EC teacher, or you're a primary or you're a special education teacher. So if you fall into a tier 2 role, it means you can come to New Zealand, work for 2 years, then apply for residency. If you are straight away tier 1 role, then you can apply directly for the straight to residence, and maybe within 4 to 6 weeks, you can be you can achieve residency in New Zealand, as well as you need to achieve the median wage rate in New Zealand when you apply for residency. And the median wage rate at the moment is around $33.51. So to apply for residency, you need to achieve that. So yeah, this is all about like English requirements I've covered and the teacher council requirements and other bits and pieces. So I think now we can
I
have
think,
some
yeah, yeah. I
questions from
think
the floor.
correct. Meghna ji, if you can, at least have one question from one teacher or maybe, whatever, howsoever the whole permutation combination works. We would like to hear from the audience. Maybe what you can do, Meghna ji, is that if you can mute the audio and then ask a question, maybe that will help you because it is echoing, right? Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. Very good morning to you.
Uh, Good morning, sir. How can we ask our students for higher education in New Zealand if they want to continue
What student are we talking about here?
after 12th if they want to continue their studies in New Zealand?
Yep. So basically, ma'am, we can guide them for any country like Australia, Canada, New Zealand, or UK or USA even. So basically, if a 12th pass student wants to pursue their career, similarly, like we have different options for commerce graduates or science graduates. All right. So it just depends, or arts graduates. So we can give them programs related to their choice if they want to make their career in hospitality or cookery or IT or supply chain management, business management, accounting, marketing. It just depends what they really want to do. We have really good programs starting from even going towards construction management, quantity surveying, civil engineering, mechanical, electrical engineering. So it just depends what the career choice applicant wants to pursue. So basically, if a 12th pass wants to come here and do a bachelor's degree, they need IELTS or PTE score of overall 6 band, no band less than 5.5, and they need funding. They should be able to, or their parents should be able to show four things. First of all is the tuition fees, living cost, medical insurance, and airfare. So these are the four things they have to demonstrate, because overseas education for any country, it is a luxury. It's not a necessity. So parents should be able to show that they have access to enough funds to be able to send their kids abroad, and they'll be comfortable in living in New Zealand and studying in New Zealand. They will not be under a financial constraint. So that is the first and the foremost step. And English requirement I've already told you. So if they have done the class 12, they have options of choosing a diploma program, which is a 2-year course, and a bachelor's degree, which is a 3-year program. So both options are available depending on the student's preference.
Hope that
Am I clear?
answers your query, ma'am. Meghna ji, we can't
Yes,
hear.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we'll request some more questions because आप लोग तो टीचर्स फ्रेटर्निटी से हैं और आप लोग बच्चों को बोलते हैं कि भी सवाल पूछना अच्छा होता है, तो आई स्ट्रांगली रिक्वेस्ट कि एटलीस्ट 4-5 क्वेश्चंस अगर और आ जाए तो दैट विल बी ग्रेट.
Okay, just a second.
या
Sir, how
राइट.
much the living cost there in Australia if we will send our children there?
So again, for Australia, if you talk about coming as an international student, if you want to send your son over there, then basically you need to show four things. We need to, when we apply for Australian visa, 6-month fees has to be paid in advance. Okay, and after that, 6 months of fees to be shown as a payment plan, and after that, 1 year of living cost, approximately $25,000, including the insurance. So, as I said earlier, we need to show four things: medical insurance, airfare, living cost, and the fees. So it depends which university student is choosing. If you talk about the living cost, so 25 to $26,000, covering two things: medical insurance as well as living cost. So if they choose a university, the fees can range in Australia between $34,000 to $45,000 per annum. And if a student is coming there from like after completing their 12th class, they need to study for 3 years. And if they're coming from like a bachelor's degree background, then they have to study for minimum 92 weeks, which is 2 years, 104 weeks. So they need to study, and you need to only show first year of living cost and medical insurance, return airfare, as well as just pay 6 months of fees before you travel.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning, ma'am.
I want to know, as you said, like there's a scope of teachers are growing day by day in the New Zealand. What will happen with the dependencies? Like if teacher want to come to join your institution, so what about their her parents, her children, and her husband? Like, what is the in that case, how can you help us in our dependencies?
Fine. That's a very good question, because if somebody already have an established life in India, and if they are moving, and one member of their family is moving, then that definitely it is worth thinking that what will happen to the rest of the family. So basically, if a teacher is coming here in New Zealand, it depends what visa she is coming on. Say, for example, if we are talking about your example, if someone is coming here on a work visa, which is accredited employer work visa, then the dependents can apply for a visa based on them, based on the spouse. Basically, if a teacher is coming here, a female teacher is coming to New Zealand for a work visa, the husband will be able to apply for a work visa as a dependent on the main teacher, on the main, on the wife, basically. And the children up to the age, schooling age, basically, so primary and secondary education will be complementary, or basically will be a domestic education. It means they don't have to pay the tuition fees, and the children can study in New Zealand without paying any fees. So that's the for the work visa. And if someone is coming here even to study, the same thing happens. If someone is coming here to study a graduate diploma in teaching program, which I have explained about the bridging course, still that allows the spouse to get a work visa and children to get free education visa. And yeah, so these are the both options. And if a teacher is applying for the permanent residency, they need to have the job offer. Without that, they cannot apply for residency. So if they apply for residency, residency will be as a family unit. In the family unit, it's husband, wife, and the kids, dependent kids. And as soon as you ask the question about the parents, parents are not a part of this policy. You can call your parents. Your parents can travel to the country on a visitor visa. They can come here, visit you, then they have to go back. Once you gain the residency in the country, and after that, there is a policy which is called parent and grandparent visa, or a parent migration permanent resident visa. So you can explore those options at a later stage, but that's not the point immediately, which gives your parents also residency. So first of all, you need to meet the requirement, gain the residency, and then you can support your parents at a later stage.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So these are the questions.
That's good. Very good. Um, Very good, sir. Shall sir, good question from the audience, and it's
Yes,
pretty nice to see that they had these questions. And
correct.
if any other question comes later on, please keep me informed and keep me in the loop, and I'll definitely try to help them out by answering the questions.
Sure.
And because it's a life-changing movement, and the teachers can plan for the whole family to move, because this pathway of coming in a foreign country and working as a teacher, and gaining a residency in the country and moving your family here, that can be very lucrative and very attractive sort of thing. But it needs a lot of discussion, a lot of thinking, a lot of planning. So we are definitely here to support all the planning efforts, and wherever we can add value, definitely we are here. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Shruti.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for the
Yeah,
audience. Thank you to the
thank you
audience.
everyone. And Meghna ji has our numbers and contact details. So whosoever wants to reach out to us, we'll be more than happy. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you so
Pleasure.
much.